So as you can see, we're surrounded here by plants all over the place. The green wall behind us, the trees, and all this is for motivating people to be more green and towards a greener Qatar in 2022, inshallah. So why green? Is it just for the colors, the flowers? Is it just because we don't like living in deserts or surrounded by sands, so we want to change this into a more colorful area? Actually, this is one of the reasons behind planting and why we do it. But for sure, this is not the only reason behind planting. Planting has much more benefits to us human beings and to the environment surrounding us everywhere. So at the next few minutes, I will be taking you through some of the benefits that plants affect us and the surrounding environment. So the first benefit of planting, and which I think is one of the most suitable reasons why we should plant in the Khalij region, is that actually plants can affect air temperature. Actually, our region is known for its very high temperature that can affect work and the living. So by planting all over the cities, and cities are known and scientists approve that cities has a much higher temperature than countrysides, and that's due to the high amount of flat areas like concrete, which is actually absorbs sunlight and stores heat in it, which affects the air temperature surrounding us. So what's the solution to this? We have two solutions. You either replace the whole flat area or flat surface with plants. So instead of having decorative concretes, you replace them with decorative plants, which is much beneficial to us and the environment. Or you just surround the flat area with plants, and those plants will work as a beautiful and much natural, beneficial air conditioning system that can actually lower the temperature. And I will tell you how. Plants that can evaporate water throughout their leaves, which spreads water vapor through the air, which cools the air down and lower the temperature eventually. Next please. So another reason or benefit of planting is reducing the level of pollution. So nowadays, one of the most biggest issues for the worldwide community is pollution. And almost every country suffers from pollution due to the high numbers of factories and industrial areas that gets built every year. So how to get over this problem is that scientists prove that plants can actually absorb some of these toxic gases and eliminate them and filter the air to give us a cleaner atmosphere to live in. So what some countries do is they surround the factories or the whole industrial areas with plants and trees, which works as a barrier or a filter for the toxic gases and the polluted air coming out of the factories, and then cleaning it and filtering it to reach the nearby residential areas without any toxic gases in it, which we can live in a much better atmosphere. Next please. Another benefit is that how indoor plants affect our psychological status or psychological side. Actually, scientists have proven that indoor plants can increase positiveness and decrease and decrease depression and stress levels. So it's very beneficial to have indoor plants all over the place in a place with a high stress level, like workplaces, offices, and even homes, which will work into lowering the stress level and work for a better work environment. Next, please. So, last but not least, the last benefit, which I think is the most important one of all of them, is the plants reduce carbon dioxide level in the air. And in this part, I would like to make an interactive communication with you, as I ask you some questions. And if you know the answer, please raise your hand, and I will help you. So the first question is, what gas do plants take in or absorb? Go ahead. What's your name?
Anita.
What's your answer?
Carbon dioxide.
That's good, that's true. Can you come? Say the answer again. What gas does plant absorb?
Carbon dioxide.
And we all clap for Farida, please. Can we clap for him? Second question is, what gas human beings need the most and they take in or inhale in order to continue living? Go ahead. What's your name?
القطرية.
What's your answer, Abdul?
Oxygen.
That's right, that's true. Can you clap for Abdul, please? Our last question is, what gas does human beings exhale or get rid of because their body doesn't need anymore? So, the question, you know the answer? Your name?
Ali.
What's the answer, Ali?
Carbon dioxide.
That's true, that's right. Can I clap for Ali, please? That's really good. Good job. Next, please. So that's for the first part where I instructed what's the benefits of planting and how it's going to affect our lives. And for the second part, I would like to talk about a psychological thing, which it actually affects also planting. And it's start with yourself. What does this mean? Start with yourself means that you don't need anyone to do a good thing. You can just start with yourself. And a good example for this is Ezdan and how they started this seminar and starting this event from like months ago and promoting for green and how it's beneficial. And instead of just waiting for like 2 or 3 years until Qatar 22 or waiting for our country to take actions, they didn't wait for anyone. They took the initiative. Next, please. They took the initiative and they started this. And by starting this, they did a huge impact. You might not notice it as a person, but we as a company that participated in this event, we got around 200 kids and adults in one day. On Saturday, which we have our event. So in the last 2 weeks, we had 400 plants and flowers. We had a total of 400 plants and flowers given to children and grown-ups to grow in their house. So it was just 2 weeks, Ezdan giving us this opportunity. They gave out 400 plants. Imagine what will happen in the next few weeks, few months, every years, even if this can turn into a daily thing, and instead of 1 day a week, it can turn into a daily thing, and they can affect the whole country, and the whole country will go like them. Every mall will have its green area, and every mall will have its booths to give the children flowers eventually. So don't wait for anyone. So in your company, in your office, if you don't have plans, don't go like, this is how the office is designed. This is how I took it. This is is how it should be. No, you can buy your own plants. You can buy even 2 small plants and put it in your office and decrease your stress level and the one working with you. And actually, people can learn from you and start copying you, and turns out for the whole company to be a green company. And that's why people outside countries and companies are paying millions of dollars to be called a green company or a green country. So another example for this is one personal example, and it's a true story. So in our villa where I live, I have a backyard. But in my compound design, the backyard is only used for tanks and electric boards. And they have like a free space that are useless and not used for anything. So me and my father, we changed this place we planted it with different flowers and different trees. And after this, by some weeks, we ordered some maintenance guy for the tanks at the backside. So the maintenance manager came with him, and he saw this backyard and asked, how did you get this garden? It's not in the design, or that's my first time to see a villa in this compound with a backyard that is actually a garden. And then he went back to the management, and they starting applying this to the new villas they're building and the new compound that they are building. So by doing this, you just change the whole atmosphere of your compound, and you live the more green life surrounded by plants by just planting a couple of plants in your apartment. And that's the same for the office. By just putting 2 plants in your office, give it some months, and you'll be surrounded by plants all over the place. So I will end by every small move leads to a big change eventually. So don't give up and try that. Thank you very much for listening. Shukran, salam.